ESPNU presents the Summer of Next, brought to you by Geico. And we're at the American Legion World Series in Shelby, North Carolina. The team from Randolph County, North Carolina, getting ready to play Nebraska here in the second semifinal of the day. Before we get going, let's head down to the field.
Presenting our program today, the North Carolina State Police. Singing our national anthem tonight is Jordan Beaver, a rising sophomore at the Boston Conservatory. Jordan has sung in New York's Carnegie Hall and several times in Germany. As a student at Crest High School, she sang in the award-winning a cappella group Total Spectrum. Ladies and gentlemen, Jordan Beaver.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rockets ringing, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Here in Shelby, North Carolina. Already today, Nevada scoring 5 runs in the 9th inning, beats Arkansas by a score of 7-3. They're in the championship tomorrow night. Who will they play? North Carolina or Nebraska? We're getting ready to find out. Hi, folks. I'm Mike Hogwood, along with former Major League pitcher Steve Woodard. And, Steve, these two teams have really had great play in their division.
They have both teams. We're looking for a great matchup here. Both, play good situational ball and play great defense.
Now, this North Carolina team was coasting through this tournament when they came up against Arkansas last night and got shut out 5-0.
They got shut out 5-0, and we're going to see how they come back and rebound from that, and looking to see big things from them tonight.
Now you talk about Nebraska. This is a team that's unbeaten, the only unbeaten team in in the division play. We divided into the Stars and Stripes divisions to see who would get here. They're unbeaten and they're playing well.
They've got great pitching, great hitting, and they've won. They're 3-0, the only undefeated team here.
And pitching for them tonight will be Dylan Phillips, who's an excellent player, and he's been a position player, and he's going to the mound tonight as we see the Nebraska team getting ready here to take the field. Well, we've had a lot of weather here today, and the last game ended with a downpour of rain, but it is dry tonight, and we look like it's going to have a great crowd as a lot of folks have driven from Randolph County, where the largest city is Asheboro. Oh, it's about 115 miles or so from Shelby, North Carolina, a city that has really embraced and adopted this American Legion World Series, and it has become a year-long community event. We've had a great week here. Kelly Pickler gave a concert downtown. The players have all had a lot of fun and unique activities, and we're down now to 3 teams, Nevada, North Carolina, and Nebraska. And who will make it to that championship tomorrow night at stake? The American Legion World Series Championship. And there is Dylan Phillips, who will be the starter tonight for Nebraska.
Yeah, and Dylan Phillips, he's a lefty. He's going to throw a fastball and a slider, and he's going to bring it up there around 80 to 86 miles an hour, and that's pretty hard for a lefty there. And they say he likes to throw inside a lot. So we'll see how he does tonight and how he gets ahead of these hitters.
You talked to some of these Nebraska players earlier today. I know. Now, Dylan Phillips has been the cleanup hitter for the 3 games that they have played. And most of the times in Legion ball, you often see the position players pitch. And when the position players have pitched, a lot of times they haven't hit. So the big question tonight was, would the cleanup hitter, Dylan Phillips, still be in the lineup as a hitter?
Yeah, and I actually got to sit and eat breakfast with the Nebraska team. They're in the same hotel I am. And I asked Dylan that this morning. He said, man, I'm going to be in there to hit tonight. I want to hit.
Well, he's not looking to hit. He's going to pitch. And here's who he'll face for Randolph County. Dalton Hammer will lead it off. Then it'll be Dawson Painter, Cam Morrison, Bryce Marsh, Peyton Williams, Trevor Marsh, who needs to get going. He had a great regional. Austin Curry, Parker Clayton, the DH, and Ryan Hill, the third baseman. Glad you're with us. Our umpires tonight, Matt Sullivan behind home plate, John Whitaker at first, Kevin Gaywin at second, and Dave Cummings at third. And a good look at Dalton Hammer, who did not have a hit last night against Arkansas. He had 2 hits against New Jersey, where Asheboro team won it 6-3. Then they beat Idaho 4-1. Dalton Hammer had a hit in that game. Graduated last spring from Uwharrie Charter School. Has a great eye at the plate. Hit over 300 through the summer season. And again, this team was shut out last night. Surprised a lot of people.
Let's play some ball, Mike, and it looks like hopefully this game will be just as good as the last one.
Last one went extra innings before Nevada won it. And right off the bat, Dylan Phillips falls behind 3-0. It is something these guys are not used to, playing in front of 6,000 to 7,000 people. And it may take a batter or two sometimes. We've seen this the whole week. To really settle down and get adjusted, you're in the semifinals of the World Series. Your heart's kind of beating through your throat.
It is, and I asked Dylan that this morning if he was going to be nervous, but you're going to be nervous playing in front of playing on ESPN.
Dawson Painter's the batter. He has had an excellent World Series here. He also graduated from Uwharrie Charter School last spring. Coach Ronnie Pugh says that Painter's the best athlete on the team. He hasn't been the shortstop all year, but he was the most valuable player in the North Carolina State Tournament, had a really good regional. Hammer is a threat to steal. In that state tournament, he had a stretch. There's Ronnie Pugh, the head coach, former great athlete at Lenore Ryan University. He was a football quarterback and baseball player. And he and his brother are very involved in baseball. His brother owns the Asheboro Copperheads of the Coastal Plain League. Painter fouls it back, and ball and 2 strikes.
And it looks like Dylan, he's kind of settled down here now and got ahead 1-2 and going right after him.
Painter in the state tournament had 5 home runs in 5 games. You talk about a hot batter.
If you watch him stand at the plate, I think his favorite team is the Toronto Blue Jays, and Troy Tulowitzki stands just like this.
Good guy to model your game after. Dylan Phillips on the mound is a rising senior in high school. He's already made a commitment to college. He's going to play at Kansas State.
That's a pretty good place to go.
I should say so. Hammer on at first. That's a base hit to right, and this Randolph County team has come out hitting.
What a great job of Painter taking this ball the other way. And, the runner was gone from first and went from first to third. Now they got a guy in scoring position.
Runners at first and third, and there's nobody out. We've talked all week about the pitch counts. The number of pitches you throw correlates to the number of days of rest you have to have. But you get to this point, you lose, there's no tomorrow.
You just throw it out the window, and you got to win to get to tomorrow.
Now, Cam Morrison, the batter. A lot of room in foul territory. And a really nice play by the Nebraska right fielder, Lucas Ripa. Pretty good outfield for Nebraska. Nate Reiner, Will Hannafin, and Ripa. The infield, Tom Steyer is healthy. Missed the first couple of games. Zach Lucky, Cameron Blossom at second, Evan Laney at first. Owen Richter, very good catcher. Of course, Dylan Phillips, who we've told you about, is pitching. The batter is Bryce Marsh. Another youngster, rising senior at Southwestern Randolph High School. Doesn't have the power of a lot of cleanup hitters, but he also doesn't strike out a lot. Good hitter to the gaps.
He does, and I think what's come into play in this whole tournament with all these teams is what are they going to do with runners in scoring position?
Ground ball, that could be 2. Throw is off the back. One is scored. Marsh is down at second base. Be an error on that throw, and we have seen errors and walks come into play big time in this event.
Well, what a great job by Marsh, staying inside the ball, hitting it up the middle. And it looked like the second baseman tried to take it on his own. You wonder if that ball was wet from hitting the ground and make him out there and throw there.
And the batter will be Peyton Williams. North Carolina did not score a run last night against Arkansas. On the board here now against Nebraska. Peyton Williams. Ronnie Pugh told me he's the biggest surprise of the summer. Started the season at shortstop, now playing second base. He's had a hit in every game, 2 multi-hit games. 1 for 4 against New Jersey, 2 for 3 against Idaho, and 2 for 3 last night against Arkansas. What a great World Series he's had.
And him and Painter together, that double play combo there, they've done a great job in this tournament.
The first game against New Jersey, they turned 4 double plays. Defense won that game as much as anything. Dylan Phillips is ahead. No balls, 2 strikes. There are 2 out. And Bryce Marsh is in scoring position down at second base.
And Dylan's wanting a new ball there, and tried to get him there to chase away on a fastball away, and let's see if he comes back with that breaking ball down and in.
North Carolina beat a team from Wilmington to win the state championship and then beat Florida 15-2 in the final game of the regional championship to make it here to Shelby, North Carolina in the World Series. Count remains a ball and 2 strikes.
He tried to get him to chase up, another fastball up in the zone, and he did a great job of hanging in there.
Popped him up. Evan Laney calls for it. He missed it. Wow, second error of the inning on Nebraska.
And we've not seen them do that this entire tournament. He just took his eyes off of it just a little bit. He's probably never done that in his life either. You know that?
Well, there is pressure. There's this, I think they're first inning jitters for everybody here in an event like this. The field, by the way, has got to be still wet from all the rain we had this afternoon. Missed outside, counts even, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Good pitch, just down and away, just a bit off the plate. They wanted it, but it was just a bit outside.
Good at bat for Peyton Williams.
And he's making Dylan work. He's fouled off some good pitches.
This will be the 7th pitch at this at bat. Peyton Williams is not from Randolph County. He went to East Montgomery High School, which is the county next door. That just missed the outside corner.
Oh Mike, I'm not sure where that missed that, but
it was close.
It was a good pitch. That Nebraska dugout wanted it.
They did a lot of work on this pitcher's mound between games. It was really, really muddy. I still think at times you're going to have to deal with a wet baseball.
Yeah, I mean, he just made a great pitch with that baseball. I'm trying to figure out why he wanted another one.
You pitchers. Sometimes you just can't figure it out. Well, the error proved a little costly as Williams walks. That's the 2nd walk of the inning.
Yeah, and it seems like he's getting a little frustrated. It seems like he's having trouble gripping the ball, so.
Yeah, he's gone to that rosin bag a lot. Head coach of Nebraska is Pat Mooney. Also coaches Creighton Prep, where all these guys played high school ball.
And Coach Mooney went to Creighton University.
You know, this is a great Legion program. In recent years, they were here in 2012. Made it here a year ago. So they're used to winning.
They have a great Great history. One of my former teammates, Kyle Peterson, actually went to this school here, Creighton Prep.
I still think also that mound has got to be a little muddy. I mean, I can't over-exaggerate the rain that came down here earlier today. We had to get a helicopter out here before we played the first game because of the torrential rains from last night. And there you see some of the standing water in the outfield. There are 2 down. And runners at first and second. Bryce Marsh is at second. Williams is at first, and the batter is Trevor Marsh. Yeah, they really need to get going. Marsh is a rising junior in high school, Asheboro High School. Now, in the regionals, which were held in Asheboro, Marsh was amazing. He hit .632 for the week. The MVP. He's got great speed, but he does not have a hit in the last 2 games.
And every time he puts his ball on the ground, he's going to make it a close play. He is that fast.
And Phillips now ahead of him. No balls, 2 strikes.
And by the way, my theory did work again.
Yeah, his theory is the pitching coach comes out and there's a strike. There were 3 of them right there. Marsh goes down swinging, but a run is crossed for North Carolina. They draw first blood. We head to the bottom of the first. North Carolina leads Nebraska 1-0. A graduate last spring at Randleman High School, Chase Webb, right-hander, will be pitching for Randolph County.
And Chase is going to throw a fastball and a slider. And Chase on the year was 3-1. Had a great year, but in that regionals, he beat South Carolina 1-0 to help get them here.
That was a big game, huge game. Now that Nebraska lineup has been pretty stout. Take a look at it. Tom Steyer will lead it off. Will Hannafin has been magic. He was 4 for 4 yesterday. Then it's Zach Lucky, Dylan Phillips, the pitcher, Lucas Reba, Richter, Reiner, Laney, and Cameron Blossom. And they have hit well 1 through 9. It's been the strength of Nebraska. Steyer leading it off, takes a strike from Webb. They beat Nevada in game 1 9-1 and had 21 hits. Beat Midland, Michigan 6-3. And then beat the team from Shrewsbury, Massachusetts 8-5 over the course of 2 days. That game had to be stopped 2 days ago by rain, and they finished it yesterday morning. But Nebraska 3-0 to get here.
They've done everything. They've hit the ball well. They've moved guys over. They've pitched well. And that's why they're 3-0.
Steyer has been suffering from a back issue and did play in the Massachusetts game, the last game, and had a base hit. He was 1 for 2. He plays at Nebraska, Omaha, and they really need him in the lineup at that leadoff spot.
He is their table setter. He gets everything going for him. So how he goes, the team goes.
Popped up again, a lot of room in foul territory. And that one's out of play as saw Cam Morrison chase again. Morrison is a veteran. He's an older player. He actually is going to be a sophomore at Catawba College, about a little over 30 miles away from Asheboro, and they start classes on Wednesday. Walked him. Steyer does his job. He gets aboard.
And both teams, both pitchers, walking the leadoff guy of the game. One thing you do not want to do, to come back and bite you in the rear end.
Well, this shows just what we were talking about, how well Nebraska's been hitting the ball. They got 21 hits in their first game. They have the best batting average of the teams here. You see that North Carolina average of 241. There's a reason for that we'll talk about next inning. The batter here is Hannafin, and he has been their hottest hitter. He was 4 for 6 against Nevada with 3 RBIs, 1 for 4 in the game against Michigan, and against Shrewsbury, Massachusetts, 4 for 4 for Will Hannafin, center fielder. Word from his coach Pat Mooney when I asked him about Hannafin, he says, let me tell you, he has been hitting a lot better lately. That might be an understatement.
He said everything they threw at him.
Phillips trying to get him to chase on the 0-2. Ball and 2 strikes with the leadoff hitter Tom Steyer down at first.
You know, and he sees that hole over there between first and second. That's a big hole. Right where he was trying to go with that ball.
Yeah, there is a little bit of a shift on the North Carolina second baseman Peyton Williams, as you can see, is playing way over towards second base.
And by the time this game is over, you'll see him all the way on the shortstop side of the bag tonight.
Stay in. Here comes Morrison. Good effort.
Some great hustle there by Cameron getting over there. Ooh, that brick wall.
You see that brick wall in front of you, you can slow down a little bit.
But Cameron probably had the highlight of his life last night getting a hug by Miss America. How about that?
Yeah, Miss America was here last night and threw out the first pitch. There was a big argument between the 2 catchers as to who was going to get to catch the first pitch.
Great pitch right there by Chase. Just barely missed that breaking ball away.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Will Hannafin.
And I can bet you this runner is going to be in motion right here going with a full count. Now it's a full count. The board was wrong. That's why you don't pay attention to the board. Now he's going to be in motion probably.
Some pretty good at-bats by Steyer and now Hannafin. Hannafin will be headed to community college to play baseball. He was a great athlete in high school, played 3 sports, but has chosen to continue with baseball.
You know, Mike, right here with Chase, you know, he's went full count on both. You know, the number 1 hitter and the 2 hitter in the lineup already.
And he hit him.
He's going to bring him back. I think he stuck his arm out.
See, Steyer's at-bats have been limited, but when he's played, he's been hitting. So has Hannafin, who we just talked about. Boy, it's the little things. Runners are at first and second without the benefit of a hit. And there's nobody out here in the bottom of the first.
And you can see Hannafin, he was going to do anything he could to get on base.
It's what you do when you're in the semifinals with the championship at stake. Obviously a bunt situation here. Zach Lucky, the shortstop, is the batter. Lucky played last spring at Nebraska-Lincoln. He'll be a sophomore in college. A lot of older college players on this Nebraska team. He's a 2-time MVP in regional play. Well, it's tough to bunt that ball when it's up like that.
It is, and you know, but he's so quick. He had 33 stolen bases on the year, and you know, sitting there talking with Zach this morning, he was like, "Man," he goes, "Woody, have you ever had an ice bath before?" He goes, "I had an ice bath yesterday." So he rejuvenated his body. He said he's ready to go.
Had you had an ice bath before?
I've had one. They don't feel good.
Ball and 2 strikes to Lucky. So obviously the bunt is off. Lucky has been their top hitter in postseason. We showed you 2 others who have been red hot here in Shelby. Will it stay in? The answer is no. On top of the dugout, Brian Hill was over there.
And if you look there at the pitches thrown, you know, Chase is already up to 20 pitches here in the first inning on the first 3 hitters.
It's been a long inning for him. This is just the 3rd batter, and there's nobody out. Wild pitch will move the runners to 2nd and 3rd.
And that's just like a bunt.
Some struggles here for Chase Webb. He walked Steyer, hit Hannafin, and just threw a wild pitch. 2nd and 3rd without a hit. Score. Base hit and 2 RBIs for Zach Lucky. As we told you, he has been red hot in postseason. Steyer and Hannafin score, and it's 2-1.
And Zach stayed back on the ball, drove it in the gap there, drove in both of those runs.
And North Carolina now has activity going in the bullpen. Discussion here amongst our umpires. I did not see anything unusual. We're hearing now from the field that they may have seen a lightning strike. Of course, that signals a delay immediately. So we'll see. There is a threat of rain tonight. It's been kind of a dramatic first inning. If we delay here, there'll be a runner at second base, or first base in second base.
And they're down there talking now.
Nobody out.
Now they're talking to the tournament director now.
Check that. Zach Lucky is at first. 2 runs are in. It's 2-1. Look at the top of your screen.
Yeah, you know, anytime, you know, to be safe, anytime you see a lightning strike, they're going to pull these guys off the field, and that's exactly what they're doing.
All right, 2-1 is our score. We'll set the stage for you. North Carolina scored a run in the top of the inning. Nebraska has scored 2 on 1 hit. Steyer walked. Hannafin was hit by a pitch. They got to 2nd and 3rd on a wild pitch. Then Zach Lucky drove them in. It's 2-1. There is nobody out, and Lucky is on at first base. That is where we stand right now. We will send it to College Football Live, and we'll keep you updated from here in Shelby, North Carolina. Nebraska leads 2-1 in the bottom of the first. Welcome to ESPNU Summer Up Next, presented by Geico. We're at the American Legion World Series in Shelby, North Carolina. We were suspended by rain last night in the bottom of the first inning. The second semifinal game between North Carolina and Nebraska. Nevada has already made it to the championship game, which will be played later tonight. Well, they've scraped the water off, blown it off, brought in a helicopter, anything to try to get this outfield dry. It was absolutely saturated last night. There was standing water here. It's still a little wet, but it is going to be playable. Hi, folks. I'm Mike Hockwood along with Steve Woodard. Welcome to the American Legion World Series, the second semifinal, and we pick it up. We're going to pick it up in the bottom of the first. Nebraska's got a real opportunity here.
Yeah, they do. North Carolina's in a hole. Nebraska's already got 2 runs in on the board, and we got a runner in scoring position on second.
Yeah, there's nobody out. A runner in scoring position on second base. That's where we left it last night when we had some lightning here. It is 2-1, nobody out. And as you might imagine, the lineups will stay the same except for one spot, and that's in pitching. And Ryan Hill, who pitched in the first game, is going to pitch now for Randolph County from North Carolina and try to get them out of this jam.
Yeah, and Ryan Hill, he's going to come in, he's going to throw a fastball, a curveball, and a changeup, and his velocity is going to be somewhere in the low 80s, and, he works fast, pounds his own, and, Mike, he had a great game 1 of this World Series.
And that game 1, North Carolina beat New Jersey 6-3. Ryan Hill went 7 strong innings, and they're hoping he can come in here. Now, the good news for North Carolina is that he was not eligible to pitch yesterday because of the rest rules, but he is eligible to pitch on this final day. Now, they had thought if they got to the championship, he would be the starter, but you got to get to the championship. And in a little trouble here, I give Ronnie Pugh, their coach, some credit for going ahead and bringing him in because you got to win here to move on to play Nevada.
Absolutely. The only way to play in that championship game is to win this game, and they're bringing him in right here with a runner in scoring position here in the bottom of the first.
Zach Lucky is on at first base, and the batter will be Dylan Phillips, who is the starting pitcher for Nebraska, and I understand he is going to be going back out to the mound today. He is their cleanup hitter, and he's a good one. So Lucky is on at first base, and Ryan Hill delivers a strike.
And play ball.
We are in the bottom of the first, nobody out. That's where we stopped yesterday. Phillips has had a tough time his last 2 games. Here's Parker Creighton, got the lead runner. Parker Creighton, the designated hitter, has moved now to third base, with Hill coming from third in the pitch.
Yeah, they're going to be moving around with Ryan. He was playing third base. There's going to be some switches and moves here, but what a great job to get that first out right there.
Now it's Phillips on at first base. And Lucas Ripa. He had a big hit in that last game, a win over Massachusetts. Having to run a long way from making the catch. And Ryan Hill coming in and doing the job.
You never know now with the way the outfield is, as wet as it is. It was tough. That was a tough play right there coming in and getting that ball.
Dalton Hammer makes a nice play for team from North Carolina. Owen Richter, the catcher, will be the batter now. Richter only has 1 hit in this World Series. He's 0 for 3 in their win over Nevada, 0 for 5 the win over Michigan, and 1 for 4 against Massachusetts. Nebraska won all 3 of their games in pool play. They came in 3-0 here to the semifinals. North Carolina won their first 2 and then lost to Arkansas.
Coach Pugh, he's got to love this. Ryan Hill coming in, just throwing strikes and getting ahead of these guys.
Talk to Pat Mooney. He was hoping his team could really add on there. They have been really good in the first inning. They beat Nevada in game 1 against Nevada. They had 21 hits. Beat Midland, Michigan 6-3. Scored all 6 of those runs in the first inning. That's lifted the hammer in left field.
Great job by Ryan Hill.
How about that? Ryan Hill comes in, eligible to pitch today, and the ace shuts him down. It's 2-1. We go to the second. Last night, the winner plays Nevada in the championship game a little later tonight. Dylan Phillips, the pitcher for Nebraska.
And Dylan, he's a good-looking left-handed pitcher. You know, he's going to throw the fastball, the slider, and he's going to be, with a lefty, he's going to be 82 to 86 miles an hour. Loves to throw inside. And he's going to be a senior this year, and he's already committed to Kansas State.
North Carolina did get a run in the top of the first inning. Dalton Hammer scored. Nebraska committed 2 errors in the top of the first.
They did, and Dylan Phillips looked a little nervous there in that first inning. So let's see if, if he settles down here going into this second inning.
It'll be the bottom third of the North Carolina order. Austin Curry, Parker Clayton, and Ryan Hill. They have not gotten a lot of production from the bottom of their lineup in this World Series. And that's a different story from a regular season. Ronnie Q was telling me we've been hitting all up and down the line. And Phillips delivers a strike to Austin Curry. Curry was 0 for 4 against New Jersey, 0 for 2 against Idaho, 0 for 2 against Arkansas. Does not have a hit this week here in Shelby.
He looks like a completely different pitcher today. Yesterday, I think he threw first 4 pitches with balls yesterday before he threw a strike, but it's coming out flowing.
Austin Curry stays alive. Rising senior at Asheboro High School. Was a catcher in high school. Now he's playing center field. And also, he is one tough guy, and there is a reason for that.
It's called the Little Hulk.
His weight class, he won a state championship in wrestling. Counts even now, 2 balls, 2 strikes to Curry. Hit .317 through the regular summer season. But again, no hits here in Shelby.
That one just missed him right there. About hit him right there in the foot, back foot.
Well, after getting ahead, 0-2. Now full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Fielded cleanly by the shortstop, Zach DeLucky. And there's 1 down.
Now it's a big out for Dylan Phillips there, just for some confidence to get that first out inning out.
Now Parker Clayton, who began the game as the designated hitter, and is now the third baseman with Hill coming in to pitch.
Parker's looking pretty stylish up there with them nice batting gloves.
See if they result in a hit. There's a strike. 2 balls and a strike to count to Parker Clayton. Graduated from Asheboro High School last spring. Been mostly a DH all summer.
And Mike, one thing you got to wonder is Dylan Phillips, how many times this year, how many times since he's been pitching has he came back and thrown 2 days consecutively?
Yeah, well, that's going to be a tough play from the hole. And Clayton slid head first into first base. I don't think he'd gotten him anyway, but good job just to keep it in the infield by Zach Lucky.
Yeah, those are great plays. Zach's made some great plays in this, tournament, and I don't think there was no way to get him anywhere.
catcher Ryan Hill. He's got one hit this week. There was some debate as to whether Hill would be eligible to pitch in this game since the game started yesterday, but the rules go by days rest no matter when the game starts.
And I think it's a little confusion because the state tournament was different than that.
Well, Ronnie Pugh said he operated under a different rule in the state tournament, and that when they came back with a game, a split game the next day, pitcher they thought might be eligible was not. But Hill is.
And let's see if it works in North Carolina's favor.
Phillips has gone to 3 balls on both the batters he has faced so far in this inning. Our home plate umpire, Matt Sullivan, has come out.
I think they're all confused about what the count may be. Coach Mooney's upset about it.
Well, we've got it 2-1 here in our broadcast booth.
And the umpire, he just changed it back to 2-1. He had it 3-1 and went back.
So 2 balls and a strike to Ryan Hill.
And there's a good fastball by Dylan Phillips there.
Hill earned his playing time because of his glove and his ability to pitch. Not the strongest bat in the lineup, but he has had some big hits this year. Cattle State, 2 balls, 2 strikes with Creighton down at first base.
And he sure has played some good third base in this tournament.
Boy, hasn't he? Wow. Some fantastic plays. We've seen several third basemen here in Shelby. For some reason, there have been a lot of shots to third base, and we've seen some great plays. Lifted to right field. Lucas Ripa is there to make the play, 2 out.
Not sure if Dylan got that pitch right where he wanted it to, but threw him the change up and left it up. But all I could do was just kind of poke it to right field.
The 2 outs in the top of the order. Dalton Hammer steps up to the plate. He walked and scored in the first inning.
And you got to wonder right here if Coach Pugh don't get the runner at first going to where there is an out, lead off the next inning with the top of the order.
First pitch strike. Dylan Phillips. Hit the outside corner, and Phillips is ahead 0-2 to Hammer. Hammer, known for a great eye, takes a lot of pitches. He's headed to Belmont Abbey to college as soon as this event is over. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Second strikeout of the game for Dylan Phillips. Nothing doing for North Carolina. At the top of the second, they strand the runner. We head to the bottom with Nebraska on top, 2-1. Here's how we got to where we are today before the rains came down, top of the first. There were a couple of errors that really hurt Nebraska. and allowed a run to score. So North Carolina took a 1-0 lead to the bottom of the second inning. And then it was Zach Lucky who had a big base hit and scored a couple of runs. And we're at 2-1. That's where we stand right now. Bottom third of the order due up for Nebraska. Nate Reiner, Evan Blaney, and Cameron Blossom. Play by the North Carolina shortstop Dawson Painter. He's made some really good defensive plays, and Nate Reiner is retired. Now the first baseman, Evan Laney. Bounce it back.
And Mike, it looks like Ryan Hill coming in this game is it looks like they've sparked this North Carolina players, you know. They look different than they did yesterday.
Laney had 2 hits in the win over Nevada in the first game, but was hitless against Michigan and Massachusetts. Again, Nebraska came in here having won all 3 of their games in the strengths division. Safe at first as Marsh had a time coming up with it. Hill was there to cover the back, but Marsh couldn't come up with the ball.
Yeah, that was going to be that's a tough play for a pitcher, getting over there to actually cover first. As far as Marsh was over in the hole, looked like he was over nearly towards second base playing.
He was there in time to be Hill.
Yeah.
It's going to be an error on the first baseman. Second for one on the first. And North Carolina double play. They turned 4 of those in the first game.
That defensive placement and Ryan Hill making a great pitch.
And it's still 2-1. Wednesday, the home Subway Series moves from Yankee Stadium to Citi Field. It's Aaron Judge and the Bronx Bombers against Yenis Cespedes and the Mets. 7 o'clock Eastern on ESPN and also streaming live on the ESPN app. 2-1 our score. Dawson Painter, who has been a big part of North Carolina's success not only this year but this week, leads it off. Good pitch by Phillips. Painter had a base hit his first time up.
Yeah, that was a great off-speed pitch there. Had Dawson out in front there.
This is the part of the lineup, Woody, that has been the key for North Carolina. They haven't got any production out of the bottom part of the lineup, but here, 2, 3, 4, 5, they've been pretty good.
They can swing it. They need to get everybody else following like them.
Phillips is doing a good job changing speeds, ball into strikes. To Painter, who his coach says best athlete on the team, was the MVP in the state tournament. It's the second strikeout in a row.
And Dillon's coming right after him. That was just a fastball up and out of the zone, and got him to chase.
It's his third strikeout of the game.
Looks like a complete different pitcher than he did yesterday, doesn't it?
Indeed. Now here's Cam Morrison, the North Carolina catcher, who's going to join me for classes at Catawba College tomorrow. He's a catcher on the Catawba baseball team. Was a freshman there last year. Steyer, who is missing time with an injury, but back in the lineup, makes the play at third.
Another great defensive play by a third baseman. And took a rough hop there at the very end, but stayed with it.
Bryce Marsh, the batter. Marsh has struggled a bit here. 1 for 5 against New Jersey, 0 for 3 against Idaho, and 0 for 3 against Arkansas. He's only 16 years old. Looks older than that, but he's just 16. Rising senior at Southwestern Randolph High School.
I think the umpire wanted to, it looks like he's about to call him out for third strike there.
Second baseman Cameron Blossom. A 2-out hit for Bryce Marsh. And again, that's just his second hit of this American Legion World Series.
And I think Cameron, just looking at it, I think Cameron maybe he might have jumped just a tad too early and didn't time it correctly. I think he thought he could get that. And you see he's frustrated with himself. He knew he could have got that, just didn't time it correctly.
Second baseman Peyton Williams is the batter. Walked his first time up. He has had a great series. Multi-hits in his last 2 games. 2 hits against Idaho, 2 hits against Arkansas to help North Carolina get here to the semifinals. In the foul territory here. That is out of play, but a lot of room, first base and third base. Williams had 3 home runs over the course of the summer. Will tell you that he was one of the big surprises on this North Carolina team. But he's come in and hit well and really played a steady second base.
Yeah, ever since he moved from short to second, it's kind of solidified everything for this team.
It's across, called strike 2, 2 balls, 2 strikes. There are 2 outs. And Bryce Marsh on at first. Little flip, that's the 3rd out of the inning. North Carolina strands a runner here in the top of the 3rd. We go to the bottom, and it's still Nebraska 2, North Carolina 1 in the American Legion World Series. Bottom of the 3rd now, and it's the top of the order. Tom Steyer is at the plate. He walked and scored a run in the first. Has had a problem with his back. Had some tightness there. Only played in one of the games leading up to the semifinals, so they need his bat. Painter stays with it. That's a nice scoop by the first baseman, Bryce Marsh.
Great play there. And first, Marsh, we've seen some great plays at first base, and a lot of scoops over there by some of these first basemen. It was a tough play for the shortstop. Great play.
And there's 1 down. Will Hannafin has been the hitting star of this World Series. He was hit by a pitch, his first at bat in this game. How's that out of play? Did score one of those 2 runs in the bottom of the 1st. Listen to his numbers, though. 4 for 6 against Nevada, 3 RBIs. 1 for 4 against Michigan. Then he came back 4 for 4 against Massachusetts. He's had a series.
I'd say he's pretty hot.
And should Nebraska go on and win this thing, this team from Omaha, he would certainly be in the conversation for MVP. Center field, Curry is there, 2 down.
When you hit that ball hard, that's all you can do when you go to play is just try to hit it hard and hope they fire.
Two different scenarios about the makeup of these two teams. This Randolph County team, they come from several different high schools. Nebraska, all of these players play for Creighton Prep, an outstanding high school in Omaha. And the coach, Pat Mooney, also coaches Creighton Prep.
And he went to Creighton University.
There's Pat Mooney, who after his team got beat here, went back and studied and said, what did we do that cost us the World Series? And determined that the other teams were beating in the small ball. So we've seen them come out and bunt, hit and run, all kinds of things this week.
They do it all.
Zach Lucky, the shortstop, is the batter. Doubled his first time up. First walk issued by Hill.
And we won't see that very much in this first game. 7 innings, only 1 guy. That's the first one today.
And let's make that point. Normally, we watch Legion baseball. It is a 9-inning game. However, because of all the weather this week, they have shortened the games to 7 innings, and that's what we'll play here. Hill and Phillips, the pitcher, and the cleanup hitter. A fielder's choice his first time.
Ryan's making some great pitches, and that was just right on the corner, just barely missed. But he's going right after him.
Curry going back. That's out of the inning. Another strong inning for North Carolina's pitcher, Ryan Hill. We move to the bottom of the third, and still Nebraska 2 and North Carolina 1. 7 Eastern with a special edition of Monday Night Countdown. Trevor Marsh due to lead it off for Randolph County. A guy I think if they're to win this game really needs to get some hits.
Yeah, we've talked about that. He had a great regional, and they got to get him going.
Well, he was hit 600 in the regional, but he struck out his first at bat in this game, and is 0 for his last 7.
You got to wonder if he may try to throw down a bunt as quick as he is, just trying to get something going.
He is lightning fast. Strike 1. Dylan Phillips has really been impressive, the lefty for this team from Omaha, Nebraska.
Yeah, he's looked completely different than he did yesterday. Yesterday he came out through 25 pitches in the first inning.
Ground ball to second base. Blossom makes the play, 1 out.
And he's settled down real nicely today.
This is that bottom part of the lineup where North Carolina has just not been getting very much production. Austin Curry, the center fielder, grounded out to shortstop his first time up. Curry, as we documented, without a hit here in the World Series this week. Rising senior at Asheboro High. Blossom again. 2 down.
Great job by Dylan Phillips again, getting another ground ball and another quick out.
Now the third baseman, Parker Creighton, base hit and a ground ball deep in the hole in his first at bat in this game. And when Phillips misses, he is just missing.
Great hustle there.
Stayed in for Tom Steyer. Right, he made a great effort at it.
You get close to that wall over there, kind of look at it, and you gotta stop. We had somebody go over the fence last night going after a ball, and I know they don't want to do that.
Phillips ahead, a ball and 2 strikes.
Mike, you gotta wonder if you look out there at the flag in center field. I've watched it, you know, and it looks like the wind is swirling. It's blowing in now a little bit. It was blowing out. But I wonder if that's going to affect some of these baseballs that are here to the outfield.
And again, it is just over the glove of Cameron Blossom. And for the second straight inning, North Carolina gets a hit, but with 2 out. Clayton is 2 for 2 today.
Stayed back on that curveball. There's a curveball down the middle, and line drive in the gap. Has to be those batting gloves.
Well, you brought him up, and it brought him good fortune so far. Again, 2 for 2. Here's Hill, the pitcher. Who pitched 7 innings in that first game against New Jersey, has looked good on the mound here today. Had a lot of weather in the Shelby, Cleveland County area, but today, nothing but sunshine. Perfect day for baseball. Still some wet spots out there, though.
And it's very hot. It's hot on that field.
Phillips falls behind 3-1.
And that's not what you want to do here on the 9th hitter in the lineup. Don't want to bring up a Dalton Hammer here.
And that'll run the count full, and we'll see Parker Clayton moving with the pitch.
Now that double in the gap scores him. And the one thing you don't want to do if you're Parker Clayton is get picked off right here. You got to make sure that he goes to home plate.
Foul. Boy, just got out in front of it.
Just missed it. You know, that'd be a big confidence booster for Ryan Hill.
position as the top of the order due up.
Yeah, and just what we just said, you don't want to walk him in that situation right there, being the number 9 guy in the lineup and bring up the top of the order.
That's the third walk issued by Phillips. There'll be a conversation at the mound. Creighton at second base.
And Mike, if you look right there, he's thrown 75 pitches here in 3 2/3 innings. That's a lot of pitches.
Ryan Hill walks. Creighton moves to second. Hammer is the batter. North Carolina trailing by a run. Base hit here might tie the game.
And Dalton Hammer, he has a great eye. Walked 43 times this year.
Does not have a hit today. He's walked and struck out. Did score the lone North Carolina run in the top of the first.
Here wanted a ball call, but no ball there. And my theory works again.
His theory, folks, if you haven't been with us this week, the pitching coach comes out to talk. The next pitch is always a strike. So far, it's worked out that way. Strike two and Hammer behind 0-2.
And that pitch right there looked like it was in the mitt before he swung. So if I'm Dylan Phillips right here, I don't want to throw anything else other than a fastball.
That's what he threw. Tried to get him to chase.
Yeah, and as a pitcher, what you're thinking, you throw a breaking ball here, all you're doing is speeding his bat up to give him a chance to hit that ball, and it's one thing you don't want to do.
Hammer stays alive. 2 on, 2 out. This game up after it got washed out last night. Winner plays for the World Series title tonight. And Ronnie Pugh, the head coach of this team from Randolph County, play their home games in Asheboro. The sites of the state and regional tournaments. Great athlete back in the day at Lenore University. He was a quarterback and baseball player.
And you can see right there the umpire pointed down at the catchers. They stood up there, wanted to make sure the pitcher understood it was the catcher that called for time.
Will load the bases here. There are 2 outs.
And the runners will be in motion here. This is a big pitch.
As we talk about some real key moments This is one of them. Base hit. North Carolina gets some momentum. Nebraska can take some air out right here. Should be caught. Phillips gets out of it. North Carolina strands 2 runners. We move now to the bottom of the 4th inning, and Nebraska clinging to a 2-1 lead. It's ESPNU's Summer of Next, presented by Geico, and you're looking at some of the players of next here in the American Legion World Series, Shelby, North Carolina. An event that's in its 91st year. Played the first one in Philadelphia in 1926. American Legion baseball has been a big part of summer baseball for a long, long time.
And we've seen some good baseball here this past week.
Lucas Ripa is the batter leading off for Nebraska. And he's found a permanent home here in Shelby, North Carolina. These folks do a tremendous job putting on this event. Marsh running a long way, can't get there. Boy, there's a lot of ground you can cover.
Mike, I don't know if you've ever been to the Oakland Coliseum where the Oakland A's play, but man, there's a lot of foul territory in that stadium. Seems like that much here.
Our partner spent some time in his major league career pitching for the Oakland A's. Ripa, and that's going to get through for a base hit. Lead-off hit off Ryan Hill. It's only the second hit of the game for Nebraska. And he'll bring up the catcher, Owen Richter, who flew out to left field his first time up. Nobody out.
And you got to wonder, like we said, are they going to play small ball here and move him over with a bunt?
It's been a big difference in this Nebraska team this year is their willingness to play small ball and move the runners over.
Coach Mooney with that card in his hand. All these guys on this team, each of them have a card, and he'll hollow out a number, and they'll look at that, and it tells them what's going on rather than him giving signs. Great pitch.
See, a lot of coaches do that in college baseball now.
Well, they're just trying to keep it more simple so guys don't miss signs. And see him looking at it right there on his wrist.
Counts 2 balls, 2 strikes. Trevor Marsh makes the play in right. There's 1 out. Aiden Reiner will be the batter, grounded out to shortstop his first time up.
I think, Mike, that play card he has, can't think it's like a quarterback or a football player loses his playbook.
Big run is on. Reiner does his job. Reiner's a football player, almost didn't make it here for the World Series, but talked his way out of preseason football practice.
And what these coaches will do is they'll change that card out several times during the year in case another team finds that card laying in the dugout somewhere.
Big opportunity for Nebraska here in the bottom of the 4th inning. 2 base hits, 2 on and 1 out. The batter is Evan Blaney, the first baseman. Blaney swings at the first pitch. He's going to to stay in foul territory. Creighton can't make the play. There is a bit of a tough sun here. Boy, that's a play you got to make.
Yes, you do, and that, I hope that don't come back and haul them right there, but I don't know if it's the sun, but, the flag is still now, but as I was saying earlier, it was swirling a little bit.
And let's also remember that Parker Creighton is not the everyday third baseman. That's Ryan Hill, who's on the mound.
Great opportunity. Coach Pugh going out to talk to him and just kind of make him relax and maybe talk to the infield and just tell him it's okay, let's make another great pitch.
Well, a bit of a jam here for Hill. He's given up hits to Repa and Reiner. Richter flew out. So there's one out with Laney, who's the number 8 hitter in the order. Laney at the plate is a rising senior at Creighton Prep, very versatile player. Had a couple of hits in that first game against Nevada. This Nebraska team came here when they beat Nevada 9-1. You knew they were for real.
Mike Evan Laney, he does everything they ask him to do. He'll play third, first, DH, just depending on who's pitching that day.
Count to him, no balls, one strike. Runners were going with the pitch. Only play is at first. There's that small one we talked about. Move the runners around.
And hey, my notes right here for Evan Laney. They said he's a hit and run machine, and they did. They put the runners in motion to try to make something happen.
The runners are in second and third. 2 runners in scoring position for the number 9 hitter, Cameron Blossom. Blossom was money in the first game of the World Series, 4 for 5 against Nevada. That hit him.
Looked like he kind of stepped over the plate a little bit. Lions want the umpire to keep him at first base.
Looks like he might have turned a little bit.
Yeah, looked like he might have turned into it a little bit with that knee. And, that's what you're taught to do. It's a breaking ball. Stick your leg out, stick anything out to try to get to first base.
What it does is it loads the bases. Not only does it load the bases, it brings up the leadoff hitter, Tom Steyer. Steyer walked, scored a run into first. He grounded out to shortstop into third. This is another big moment in this game.
Not really sure where that pitch missed there right there. That was a pretty good breaking ball there, first pitch.
There's a strike, a ball and a strike.
And like you said, this is a big moment in this game right here.
Base hit, it's 4-1. You get him out, it stays 2-1. Line foul, and Hill is ahead, a ball and 2 strikes. Big chance for Tom Steyer, who's had to work just to be able to get to play with that bad lower back.
And you got to wonder, Ryan Hill, after hitting the last guy with a pitch kind of middle in, if he don't just try to stay away right here.
Good stop by Morrison, ball down in the dirt.
And that's your pitcher trusting your catcher to be able to throw that ball right there with the bases loaded.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, but the base is loaded for Nebraska. Big opportunity here for the young men from Omaha. Boy, Hill wanted that pitch. So did the crowd.
I'm not sure whether it missed either. That was a very quality pitch, and here's the pitch of the ball game right now. Ryan Hill there to get out of that inning.
Nebraska leads. The base is loaded. Some energy for North Carolina. What a pitch by Ryan Hill. It stays 2-1. Nebraska leads. They have done the historic counting. Benjamin Cleveland, a hero in the Revolutionary War, the Battle of Kings Mountain, which is just down the road, along with Isaac Shelby, who led in that battle, and a lot of things named for them in Shelby and Cleveland County. That key battle in the Revolutionary War eventually led to Cornwallis' surrender in Yorktown. Dawson Painter will lead it off for North Carolina. And that ball's going to get through. Leadoff batter aboard. He was hit hard right at Steyer. Just couldn't come up with it.
I think he hit off his glove and bounced and then went in the wrong direction where the shortstop was at. But let's see if that pumps, Ryan Hill pumps this team up and gets them going here to score some runs.
Cam Morrison is the batter. He's 0 for 2. Painter's got good speed over at first base. Maybe the best athlete on the team. Painter was the winning pitcher in the state and regional championship games.
And Mike, you got to wonder, Nebraska got someone going. Dane Hansen warming up in the bullpen, and Phillips is throwing a lot of pitches.
At 84.
In 4 innings.
When they caught him. Base running mistake for Dawson Painter, and he's picked off.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. You don't want to get picked off. Those games are short. Playing 7 innings, you sure don't want to get picked off there and making the first out like that.
Let's give Dylan Phillips some credit. Nice play by the Nebraska pitcher. You got to be careful as a base runner with a lefty pitcher.
You do, and that's the benefit of a lefty, being able to see that runner at first and being able to pick up your leg and go to first.
Two balls and a strike to Morrison. Painter led off with a hit and then just got picked off. And that hit him.
And now that pickoff is really big.
Next time is number 25, Bryce Marsh.
It'll bring up Bryce Marsh, who had a base hit his last time up. The lefty's got to be getting a little tired.
Yeah, Dane Hansen, he's getting loose quick down there, so let's see how much longer they'll let him go here.
The left field, and that is going to get down into that bullpen. Marsh is probably the batter he's got to get.
Lefty on lefty. He's got to get it. But Bryce had a great at bat, last at bat.
Again, he's just 16 years old, rising senior, Southwestern Randolph, and saw the action down in the bullpen. They're ready. And Phillips is ahead. No balls, 2 strikes. He's really battling. him up. And they're 2 out.
And you don't see that a lot, Mike. You know, the pitcher, you know, we're trying to get out of the way.
But Phillips is a position player.
He is. He's a great athlete. And, you know, he called everybody off and made that catch.
Peyton Williams, the batter. Williams has walked and grounded out. Long run for the center fielder. And a nice catch in center field by Will Hannafin. He's been a star at the plate, and now he makes a great defensive play, saving some runs.
MVP of this team here.
So far, I'd say so. Nebraska still leads it 2-1.
And right here you see where Ryan Hill got a little trouble here in the 4th inning, hitting the guy, loading the bases. And then he makes a ball in the dirt, a breaking ball in the dirt right there. And then a fastball he wanted to make the count go forward. He wanted that pitch, and then comes back right back for that same pitch to get him out. Big pitch for Ryan Hill.
Nebraska had the bases loaded. Unable to do anything. But remember, we play only 7 innings. It gives the game a little bit of a different feel, a little more urgency in every inning. And the man who made that great catch a moment ago is at the plate, Will Hannafin.
And it always happens that way. Make a great catch and
That's just found.
come up and get a great hit. Let's see what happens.
He has had a fantastic week here in Shelby.
Seems like he's had a hit every at bat.
Headed to community college when this event is over. Great athlete, played 3 sports in high school. Ryan Hill's ahead, no balls, 2 strikes.
You know, Mike, I was sitting there this morning with the Nebraska guys and talking with them, and all the outfielders brought 6 pair of socks each for the day.
Yeah, that's after the miserable experience of yesterday, running around in that wet outfield.
And you can see right there, you know, how mushy and wet it is, and man, this grounds crew's done a great job of getting this field ready to play today.
Yeah, for the second day, they brought a helicopter here to try to dry things out there.
Kids watching at home, if you watch Hannafin out of the box, he was busting. He was thinking 2 all the way, and he just slipped going around first base. If he wouldn't have slipped, I think he might have tried to go for 2. He was right under his glove. You can see him going right here, run first, running hard, and looked like he just slipped.
Nobody out. Hannafin on at first, leadoff batter aboard. Nebraska has threatened in every inning. We are in the bottom of the 5th. Couple of runs here will be so big for Nebraska with just 2 innings left to play.
And Mike, I was just watching. I think Nebraska's doing kind of like what North Carolina did. Their best pitcher, number 1 pitcher, just started walking toward the bullpen and got to the bullpen. Joshua Culliver.
Dave Williams makes to catch one out. The bottom line is you've got to win this game to get to the next one, so you can't say, well, we'll hold our ace back and throw him in the championship game. You got to get there.
Well, you know, they could bring him in to throw the last inning, win the game, and he could probably start the next game, too.
You're right, with the pitch rule.
You know, so, I mean, that'd be something, you know, your number one pitcher, bring him in to close this game out. We say the Dodgers did that with Clayton Kershaw in the playoffs several years, and like you said, got to win.
Here's Phillips. Curry. 2 out. It's turned into a pitcher's battle here.
But we have surely seen some great outfield play by all these teams. Man, they went and got the ball.
In a wet outfield, was. Lucas Ripa with 2 outs, and Hannafin on at first. Ripa 1 for 2. He's flown out the left and had a base hit his last time up. Painter makes the play, third out of the inning. Nebraska strands a runner. Well, we move to the 6th. We've got 2 innings left, and Nebraska leads North Carolina. Watching ESPNU Summer of Next, presented by Geico at the American Legion World Series, Shelby, North Carolina. Mike Hawkwood here along with Steve Woodard. Looking forward to a championship game tonight. Nevada already in. We'll play the winner of this game tonight at 7. And you can see it right here on ESPNU. 2-1 the score, and it's the bottom of that order now for Randolph County that has not been productive in recent games. Needs to get going. Trevor Marsh, we talked about his regionals where he was the most valuable player. He had 632 in the regionals a week ago. Now he's 0 for his last 8. Today he struck out, grounded out to second base.
And he needs to get this team going here.
And he grounds out.
And just what Dylan Phillips needs to do, get a quick out, 1 pitch, 1 out.
And you're right, we might see the ace in the 7th.
He's down there stretching, so we'll see.
Austin Curry. He's grounded out twice. Once to short, once to second. And Pat Mooney's coming out.
And he's at 93 pitches now. And like you said, you know, he's had some long innings here. And Hanson's ready to go, so we'll see what Coach Mooney does.
Dane Hanson's been up for a while, and he is ready.
And you know Dylan Phillips, he's a competitor, and you know what? He ain't gonna let him take that ball out of his hand.
You got a guy coming up, though, in Austin Curry, who, despite hitting over 300 in the regular season, does not have a hit here in Shelby. He is 0 for 10 for the week. Base hit.
1 for 11 now.
How about that? You know, I like the way young man fights.
He is.
He just slapped that first base coach because he said, man, it has been a frustrating week.
Yeah, he's a fighter like he said, and he come out swinging right there on first base with a big hit.
And that's going to be all for Phillips.
You know, and that's a tough thing for a pitcher, you know, for a coach going out. Pitchers always want the ball. We always want that ball. And he gave up that hit right there. But what a great game by Dylan Phillips.
Well, the potential tying run is on at first in Austin Curry. There is 1 out. And There's going to be a new pitcher for Nebraska. We'll tell you about it when we come back. Nebraska 2, North Carolina 1. Pitching change here in the 6th. Tonight at 11 Eastern on ESPN. Catch SportsCenter at 9 with Bucci and Anderson. They'll have all the Major League Baseball highlights, NFL news, and everything else. SportsCenter at 9. Also streaming live on the ESPN app. And a new pitcher on, Dane Hansen. Right-hander will come on to throw for Nebraska.
And Dane, he's going to throw a fastball, a slider, and an occasional changeup. Velocity's going to be somewhere in the 80 to 85 mile an hour range. And he came in the second game of this series and had a great game, Mike.
Well, I'm sure they'd love for him to get through 7, but if not, Joshua Culliver, who, if Nebraska wins, will no doubt start the championship game tonight. But Culliver's he's got up to 30 pitches to be able to pitch here and still be able to pitch.
He has, and a few, down there in the bullpen, he's already started tossing around a little bit, so, that's in Coach Mooney's mind.
And Phillips has gone from pitcher to first base. Creighton the batter. Potential tying run on at first base. And Creighton has had himself a day.
We'll see if those batting gloves can keep him going.
Nope. Can't miss him. Ball goes off the shortstop's glove. That looked like a tailor-made double play.
Yeah, that was right to him. It looked like he kind of took his eye off of it at the last second, raised up, and now North Carolina has a runner in scoring position. Could have been out the inning right there. Yep, he just raised up in the last second, and now runners on first and second.
Boy, Zach Lucky usually makes that play. 1 out. Ryan Hill, the pitcher, is the batter. Number 9 hitter in the order.
And now Culliver's down there trying to get hot, throwing the ball more.
That could be 2. Lucky wasn't missing that one. 6-4-3 double play. Gives Nebraska out of the inning. Nothing doing for North Carolina. Now this time the defense was spot on. Nebraska leads North Carolina 2-1. Initiate the double play right here. Nobody happier with this than the guy who's probably going to pitch the next game. That's Joshua Culliver. Outstanding pitcher, and he's fired up.
It is. That just tells you what American Legion baseball is all about, pulling for each other and rooting for each other.
Owen Richter, the catcher, will lead it off. Ryan Hill, who's done a great job. Quickly ahead, 0-2.
He's put a lot of zeros up on that board, hasn't he?
Look ahead to the 7th, and you want to remind folks we do play just 7 innings because of these shortened games because of the weather. If Hill can hold it here, North Carolina will have the top of the order up in the 7th.
Yeah, and for Nebraska, Tom Starr, he's down there getting hot.
Painter. 1 down.
So you wonder if Nebraska's going to end up going to him there in this last inning to close it out.
North Carolina has out-hit Nebraska today 6-3. There have been 5 errors committed in this game, 3 by Nebraska, 2 by North Carolina. Good look at Ryan Hill as he sets to face Nate Reiner. Talked about this earlier. Reiner is going to play football this year. It's a wide receiver. World Series. Hill's ahead, 0-2.
I'll tell you what, Hill has hit that corner over and over and over again.
Base hit to left field. A one-out hit by Reiner.
Not what Ryan wanted to do. He hung a breaking ball over the middle of the plate. He got a base hit into left field there.
So Hanson, who had been pitching, now will hit in what was Laney's spot. So Hanson will swing the bat. Well, they had to hit and run on again.
They trust these guys with that bat, don't they?
A little different philosophy than what we've seen from Omaha, Nebraska in the past.
And it's fun to watch, you know, these guys in motion, guys swinging the bat and running the bases hard.
He'll be held there. Runners are at the corners. One out. Nebraska trying to get some insurance in before North Carolina bats in the seventh.
And that would be a big run there for Nebraska at third base.
Absolutely.
You know, a great job of him going from first to third on this to get into scoring position. And some good base running like we talked about.
Two hits in a row off of Hill, and now Cameron Blossom, number 9 hitter.
Just what I was about to say, and you never know. Watch that bunt right there to try to get that runner in from third. Anything you can do to get that guy in from third.
So many things you can do with less than 2 outs. There's the obvious sacrifice flyer, the base hit, but squeeze them in, and then you got to be careful that there's no pass ball.
Now the infield's coming in. Now it wouldn't surprise me if the runner on first takes off. Well, look at this defensive placement. Here's what Coach P is doing. I very rarely ever see the second. Look at this.
That's Peyton Williams.
He's right in there.
Ball one, ball and a strike. We've seen some unusual defensive positioning on this North Carolina team all week. And now Williams almost up to the pitcher's mound. That is going to be deep enough to get the runner home. Marsh with a great catch and a good throw, but it was not going to get the runner, Reiner, who scores third run of the game for Nebraska. Sacrifice fly by Cameron Blossom.
Cameron Blossom, great job getting that runner in. Marsh, very good job keeping a double from happening and getting another guy in scoring position.
It was the second out. There's been activity down in the North Carolina pen. Lonnie Pugh is out to the mound.
Another great job by Ryan Hill today.
He has pitched well.
He's a competitor.
Cam Reed. He's their closer. Ryan Hill pitched well today. He's our Geico. Who's next? 5 2/3. Only allowed 4 hits.
And you got a Coach Mooney, when you got a team on their heels like this, if you don't get this runner going at first base to try to make some more things happen.
Tom Steyer's the batter, top of the order. Chin music. 2-0. Brian Hill didn't become a starter until just before the postseason. He's headed to Guilford College this fall. And he throws a strike. 3-1. A little insurance run in already here in the 6th inning. Last game North Carolina played, Arkansas shut them out. One run North Carolina has scored came in the top of the first, which was played last night before the rains came. To right, Marsh makes the play, but Nebraska comes up with a big run. We go to the 7th inning. North Carolina needs 2 runs to keep this game going. Series is part of the Summer Up Next is brought to you by the American Legion and by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by Dr. Scholl's Pain Relieving Orthotics. And we're only playing 7 innings. So this, potentially the final inning, North Carolina has got to come up with 2 runs. The top of the order, Dalton Hammer, Dawson Painter, and Cam Morris are due up.
They're down to the last 3 outs, but they're right where they want to be in the order.
Dane Hansen stays in the pitch. You better believe that Joshua Culliver is ready down in the bullpen.
He's won that ball.
North Carolina gets a big run out of it. What a great Legion program they have in Omaha, Nebraska. In recent years, they've been here more often than not. 2012, here last year. Didn't win it last year. So they came here with a different approach, and it has been very good. Hansen throws a strike to Dalton Hammer, the left fielder, who has walked. He has scored the only North Carolina run. He struck out, he's thrown out to right field.
And this is a big out for him right here if he can get this out.
He doesn't. Lead off base hit. And that'll bring the tying run to the plate.
Clutch hitting right there by Dalton Hammer. Drop that ball back up the middle for a base hit. Now there's a runner on first with a tying run coming to the plate.
Dawson Painter, the shortstop, is the batter. Base hit in the first, he struck out. Base hit in the 5th, and then got picked off.
Mike Reagan, the main thing for Nebraska, they need to get outs. That guy on first base don't mean anything. The only guy that means anything is the guy at the plate.
Like, how big is that run in the bottom of the 6th looking? Second, nobody out. 2 consecutive hits to lead off the 7th here.
They don't give up, do they?
They do not. And Cam Morrison, the veteran catcher, will be a college sophomore at Catawba College this fall.
You got to wonder what Coach P is going to do here. Is he going to try to get these 2 guys into scoring position, or is he going to let him swing? I got to let him swing.
well as he's been swinging the bat, absolutely. Does not have a hit today. He's going to bunt. And good strike one. So far today, Morrison has flown to right. He's grounded out to third, and he was hit by a pitch.
You know, but one thing to talk about here is the base running mistakes that North Carolina's made in the game. We do not want to make a base running mistake right here.
Steyer at third, and Phillips at first is way in on the grass.
He's on the bunt. He's got to bunt this ball toward third base.
Steyer now is back a little bit. Ball on a strike. And Phillips is charging hard from first base. Nebraska really wants to get that lead runner.
Yeah, and as a hitter, when you're standing there and you see that first baseman coming at you hard like that, it'll mess you up a little bit. Wow, the runners were in motion too with that.
And Morrison found it back.
Well, we know now he's swinging for sure with 2 strikes. You know, we'll talk about that critical moment in the game. This is a big pitch right here.
North Carolina making it interesting. Tying runs are aboard. North Carolina's out hit Nebraska 8-5 in this game. Big number at the scoreboard.
Trying to catch him, making another base running mistake there. Good job of getting back.
Misses high, 2-2. Again, nobody out. 2 consecutive hits to lead off the inning.
Well, here you don't want to go 3-2. You want to try to get him out right here. Some coaches, if you trust this guy with a bat, maybe get these guys going right here with a full count and take a chance with a line drive. You could be out, double play. Great job of hitting.
Bryce Marsh will be the batter.
There's a full count here. Nowhere really to put. You didn't want to put him on or walk him and throw him a fastball and just a little bit of it.
Bryce Marsh has just had a word with his third base coach, Ronnie Pugh. He had a base hit in the third inning. They sit here and We could be tied.
And you wonder how this is going to affect Dane Hansen right there, winning that pitch. Can't let it bother you. You got to get this guy out.
Good pitch by Hansen.
Well, he got it in on his hands and jammed him. And great pitch, great pitch.
Now a double play puts you in the championship game.
Double play, ground ball, you're out of the inning, ball game over.
Peyton Williams, who does not have a hit today, but has played well. And if you're going to talk about how to pitch Williams, bases are loaded. There's one out.
You know, and the main thing I know what they're going to talk about with the infield in right there. The only runner that matters right now is the guy on second base, keeping him from scoring. So, you know, they're going to talk to the infield about if there's a ball that's hit in the holes, try to keep it in the infield to keep that guy from scoring and keep the ball in front of him.
This has been a really, really good game.
Two very good ball teams that do play some good baseball.
Nevada sits and waits. The championship at 7 tonight.
And if you're Peyton Williams, this is a great opportunity right here to be a hero. Yeah, and if you look down right here in front of the catcher, in front of the hitter right there, you can see shadows that will start to play a little factor in the hitter, being able to see the ball, be able to see the spin on the ball.
Lots of calls for it.
And the field fly.
Makes the catch, and North Carolina's down to its final out. And it will be Trevor Marsh at the plate, who is 0 for 3. What a position for him to be in, the regional MVP. Just a rising junior in high school at Asheboro High School. He has struck out, grounded to second, grounded out to first.
And how many times in this tournament have we seen pitchers get bases loaded with nobody out and get out of that inning?
Several.
Like it was up and away a little bit, but can't argue with the umpire.
Again, our championship tonight at 7, Nevada. And if Nebraska can get one out, it will be Nebraska and Nevada for the title. Good pitch. Hansen's ahead, a ball and 2 strikes. This team from Randolph County, North Carolina, now down to its final strike.
Coming to you!
Stays alive.
Great shot by Marsh right there, reaching out, fouling off that pitch to to stay alive.
Ronnie Pugh says he's made tremendous improvement in his game, and we saw that a week ago in the regionals where he hit over 600.
And he needs him to come up big right here.
Hanson ready to deliver the 1-2 pitch. Bases loaded. 2 outs. Richter running out. Hanson seemed a little tight right there. He knows what's on the line. He knows he's got to pitch away from putting his team in the championship game. He just looked uncomfortable for a moment. I think Richter went out and said, hey, just relax.
So I've done that before. Bases loaded like this, and he just, he kind of did an inside move to second just to really just kind of get off the rubber and start over again.
A pressure moment here.
I wonder if he's going to throw that breaking ball down in the dirt again and try to get him to swing over.
Marsh hanging in there.
He is. Swing the bat well, they run the bases well, just an all-around great team.
Nebraska wins it 3-1. They get 2 in the first and get 1 in the 6th in a game that started last night. We'll be back and talk more about what happened here today in this second semifinal in a moment. Now our championship matchup is all set. Nebraska, North Carolina threatening in the 7th and final inning, but Nebraska holds on to win 3-1. North Carolina had the bases loaded, and the team from Nevada that won their first semifinal yesterday, beating Arkansas, has had the advantage of sitting and watching today, and they'll be playing tonight, Nevada and Nebraska. And I think a lot of people would tell you that those are the two coming in. They would have picked those two teams to be here in the championship game.
Yeah, and I think one big thing that we're going to have to look at is watch and see if Nevada is able to keep that offense going like they did yesterday, and see if Nebraska can hold them back.
In pool play, they only scored 3 total runs, 1 in each game, and came to the semifinals with a losing record, but by the tie-break rules was able to make it in here, and then they took care of business against Arkansas. Well, Nebraska had to come up with some good pitching and good defense just to get out of this when North Carolina had the bases loaded, and they did it. Give Hanson some credit.
Yeah, as we talked about, all tournament long, we've seen pitchers get into jams, the bases loaded, no outs, and get out of it just like he did today.
This Nebraska team has been doing this all year long. I love the way they played some small ball today, and then getting there and getting that final out. Certainly disheartening for North Carolina, as it was for Arkansas. 2 very, very good teams getting here to the semifinals, and nothing to be ashamed of, because just getting here and then making the semifinals is a big team.
Yeah, both those teams, the North Carolina team, Arkansas team, great teams, did great things. It was fun to watch them play.
Look ahead to tonight, Nevada, Nebraska. Nevada can hit the ball, but Nebraska's got some great pitching.
They do. Nebraska's got a great pitcher coming back in Clover. And then Nevada, they're going to have somebody coming back ready to go tonight also.
And their bats will be there. It should be a great game. It's tonight at 7. The team from Henderson, Nevada, and the team from Omaha, Nebraska will play for the title of the American Legion World Series. We will see you here on ESPNU at 7. For now, For Steve Woodard, Mike Hawkwood saying so long from Shelby, North Carolina. See you at 7 for the championship.